hour 3, but now, so much breaking legal news. Our legal lad, Harry Litman, is the fanciest prosecutor with the longest title ever. I can't think of it all now. Hi, good morning, Harry.
At your service, ma'am.
Here he is. Here he is. Harry, I have to say, you can tell by what Trump screeches about the most where the legal peril seems to be coming from first. And it appears to be the documents case, right? Not just because of legal developments, but, he has been all over screeching about, what Joe Biden did. But clearly his lawyer leaving is significant, right? I mean, but how would we know if he has left because he's become a witness in obstruction? Let's start with that.
Okay. By the way, very observant on your part, because often people say, "Yeah, let's just ignore Trump. He'll just say anything." But you're right; he's reactive, and if you sift through the wails and screams, you can learn something. Okay, so it's a little bit like looking in his diaper to see what he's eaten, I guess. So
legally, yes.
How would you
And so
know?
this morning we're at corn. When did I have corn?
Oh, stop it.
What?
Exactly. I mean, you wouldn't exactly, and I think we're talking here about, we've got both Georgia happening and Smith. So the documents and those 16 ones from the archives do seem pretty significant. But it's funny. This is a black box, and you get these little vibes or Trump hints that are coming out, and we can't say for certain, but it is clear that both Fani Willis in particular is really getting a lot of cooperating witnesses by giving them immunity. Less certain about Smith, but just briefly on the docs you asked about, it's clear that they're a series of memorization. Is that what the lawyers say? Of conversations where he's told by highest advisors, no, you can't do that. No, you can't magically wave your wand, etc. Right. To my mind, Smith has long since had been over the top on the evidence of guilty intent. And so this, when you have some of these breathless reactions to it, it's really just cumulative. On the other hand, we've got to expect, and it's only smart for him to use the grand jury for all it's worth, because once the grand jury votes a return, it's a very important investigative tool that you can no longer use. So he's piling it on, and these latest documents, I think, are very solid evidence that he was told.
Yeah, and we just played, what is his name? Jim, what's his name? Parlatori, throwing Boris Epstein under the bus, saying he interfered, or he tried to stop us from searching Bedminster. I mean, what do you think why do you think he stepped down? Do you sense that he has had to become a cooperating witness, or what do you think is happening there?
Well, so merely having, let me just say about Epstein, by the way, we knew already. I mean, on a whole separate level, you have an incredibly dysfunctional group of Trump lawyers and a trail of skid marks from them being thrown under the bus, not paid, etc. Yeah. But Epstein kind of inserted himself and wanted to boss everyone around. We knew that already, but now it really hits home. I look, there is a real possibility that they've been in touch with them, and you cannot be a witness and a lawyer in the same proceeding. But there's also a possibility that he's just had it up to here, and between those two, without knowing a little more, and I think we will know a little more things that people have a way of, like, did you see Ty Cobb?
Well, I just was going to read your tweet. You said even former Trump lawyer Ty Cobb now predicting Trump will be indicted, convicted, and sentenced to prison in the documents case. He was
those were in real words on Aaron Burnett, but I'm just saying former Trump lawyers tend to be embittered and a little garrulous. So we may find out some more. But if Smith has reached out to a lawyer there, and they have come to understand they're going to be a witness, their proper professional posture is to keep quiet. So
well, now let's talk about Georgia, because you said, yes, it seems a pretty safe bet Georgia versus Donald Trump will be coming our way in August. But don't forget the other 15 or more defendants that the special grand jury recommended indicting, including Rudy Giuliani and Mark Meadows. It's going to be a behemoth criminal case. That is, and as we were saying, the delay also could be, as you were saying, they keep uncovering, more and more people are cooperating in terms of the fraudulent electors, right? And then you said now the Fulton County judge showing impatience with Trump refusing to permit another brief in his premature motion to scuttle Fani Willis's prosecution. So, everything points to early August, doesn't it?
It really does. And it's interesting. You wouldn't normally announce when you're bringing an indictment, but Trump here, it is, because of the turmoil he brings in his wake. We saw this in E. Jean Carroll, where he had to say prematurely whether he was going to testify or not. She has her folks wearing bulletproof vests. She's reached out to the FBI, and she's taking seriously the attacks on her from Trump, racist, primitive, etc., and from potentially the Proud Boys and the like. So we have that preview. And I also, the grand jury that is going to indict him, or that she expects is going to indict him, hasn't even begun to sit yet. So that's kind of telling that she's counting her defendants before they're hatched. And all we have to go on now, all she has to go on now, is the special report that she got before, and that we do know from the four persons 15-minute fame tour has, you're right, a ton of Georgia people just in the Georgia elector scheme, many of whom are getting immunity, meaning they're going to talk against the most culpable, and Mark Meadows, it looks like, Rudy Giuliani. So that's the case she was building. No reason to think she's building a different case. And just finally on the Trump thing, he's tried to attack it before the charges have even been brought, premature, no legal basis, and the judge is saying, enough is enough. He asked to do a whole nother brief on it, Judge. I have enough, thank you. So he is as always, I think, is not endearing himself to judges that he has to really worry about.
Yeah.